Okay, we'll figure it out. We can talk offline or two, but I just wanted to let you know I looked in the email and double checked because I thought about it the other day and he did not respond yet. So that's okay. Um, it's possible that that wasn't a good fit, but let's keep in touch because there's always next year.
The thing is, it would be a perfect fit because he hires young guys from the neighborhood, young men, and he grooms them over years. And so he'd be
To take
perfect.
over.
He must be very, he said he's been having troubles with people on vacation, and I don't know. I don't want to harass him, you know.
Thin.
Huh?
I think I know who that is. It's a guy who has the white hair.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. No, then I don't know Bob. There's always a guy kind of at the front register who has like white hair and he's very like fast, you know?
White hair and fast.
Yes, he has glasses, white hair, kind of not long, but not short. All right. Don't worry.
Maybe that is Bob.
Next time I go.
It's gray. I don't know if it's white.
Oh, it's not so silver, but okay.
With white.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and let's turn this meeting over. Tyler's here waiting patiently. Tyler, I do appreciate you being here so promptly as well. And please unmute yourself. Do you need to screen share at all?
I do not. I actually have one of my teaching artists who is supposed to be joining as well, to talk a little bit more about the project that we've been doing. But I can I'll start off, and if she makes it, that would be great. And if not, then I'll just kind of give you a little bit of context.
All right, super. I'll mute myself, and the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, my name's Tyler Easter. I'm the education manager for the Atlantic Theater Company. Our main theater and production offices are down in Chelsea. But we have been working with A. Philip Randolph Campus High School now for just over 6 years. We began in that school working with the entire school, but because there are 4 academies there and a significant number of students, once we got into the post-pandemic returning to school world, we narrowed our scope down to the Humanities Academy under the leadership of Kiara Fosterbaugh, who's the assistant principal of Humanities there. And the projects that we used to do at the school were major theatrical productions where we would take the texts that they were studying in their ELA classes and generate original student writing, and then they would create a script using the original student writing and some of the scripted material to create an original piece of theater and then come on stage. In the last 2 years, we've pivoted into a film-based project. So what happens and what happened this year is that we were with 3 different sections of the race, gender, and class humanities elective. And in that class, they have a film focus already, just because that's the way that the teacher wrote the curriculum for that class. And so they had already studied several films before we arrived. They studied some documentary film, some narrative film, and that sort of was used as a lens into the discussion of race, gender, and class. And then we came in for a 6-week program where we had 2 teaching artists in the program who led the students. Well, there were 3, I'm sorry. There were 3 teaching artists this year. One of them was a filmmaker who is a graduate of the Atlantic Theater Company's Conservatory. He brought in professional film equipment, taught the students about how to utilize that equipment, but then also how to sort of translate what they had learned from that professional equipment to resources that they might have more readily available at home, whether that be phone cameras or other digital cameras that they might have, iPads, other sorts of tablets, devices that they could film on. And so once they got the technical education on filmmaking, they then worked with the other 2 teaching artists to narrow a focus on either a specific community issue that they wanted to speak to that related to the topic of gender and class and race. Some of them went with a little bit more of a broad focus, something more on like a global level or on a national level. And then they generated scripts, and some of them generated more documentary rough outlines. And then we helped them through the filming process. So we sort of empowered them to create their own social justice piece rooted in the curriculum of the race, gender, and class elective in the humanities department. So this year we worked with a smaller number of students, as well as last year we worked with a smaller number of students. Going into what would be our 7th year, we're hoping to expand that again so that we can serve the entire Humanities Academy, and then maybe eventually get back to a place where we're able to serve the whole school community. But yeah, we love our partnership with them. The outcomes are great. The students had a really wonderful time. I wish I could report on their grades and any reflection that our work might have had with that, but unfortunately we can't get the grades until the end of next week. But I'm happy to share some of that information. And I'm also happy with permission from the students to share a couple of the pieces that they created in the last semester, if that's something that you'd be interested in. And I'd be happy to pass some of that stuff along to you after the fact. And if my cohort or colleague shows up, then she might be able to give you a little bit more specific detail into what we did this semester, but that's the gist of it. And we just wrapped up about 2 weeks ago with a screening where the students got to have some bagels and watch a screening of the films that they made. So yeah, there's an acting component. We teach an acting technique at the Atlantic Theater Company called Practical Aesthetics. We're an ensemble-based theater company, so all of the work that we did is rooted in ensemble and community building. And so that's sort of at the root of all of the work that we do with the kids, whether it's theater or film and all that. So I think that's the quick pitch. Sorry to rush through that. I zoomed.
No, not at all.
So.
I do have a couple quick questions for you.
Yeah.
I see Lydia has her hand up as well.
Sure.
What I wanted to know was, you mentioned the Humanities Academy.
Yeah.
Humanities Academy is downtown, I believe, right?
No, so
right.
I'm referring to, at the school, they have 4 within the school.
Oh, in A. Philip.
At A. Philip Randolph, yeah.
Okay,
So
okay. Yes,
they
break it
call that
down.
one school the Humanities Academy. So.
I didn't realize that one of them was called Humanities Academy. I'm aware that they broke it down, but I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, Lydia has her hand up as well. So Lydia, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, hi. I just want to ask you now, who gets the equipment? Does the school provide the equipment? How does that all work? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so the program is fully funded by Atlantic Theater. So we raise money. I see my colleague Michelle popped on just now, so she might be able to jump in also. But yeah, so the program is fully funded by our development office. They raise money, some of it's corporate, private. West Harlem Development Corporation funds a portion of that project as well, which is part of the reason that we're here sharing with you today. And yeah, the school's not responsible for any of the financial costs of it. But I will also say that is part of why we make sure that, yes, we show them the professional equipment and how to use that professional equipment, but we also make sure that they understand how to translate those skills into more accessible avenues for filmmaking. So again, like phones or tablets or things like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Michelle, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
This is Michelle Kapoor, everyone. She's been a fabulous teaching artist. She's actually worked with A. Philip Randolph for almost the entire residency at the school. And I just gave a little overview of what we do. So we're just kind of at the questions part of it. But if there's anything you want to contribute, I think now would be the time.
Sure. Well, I love working at A. Philip Randolph. I love the students. They're great. I don't know what I feel like I heard the tail end of what you were saying. So I'll wait for questions and I'm happy to elaborate about anything that we did with the students.
Well, Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and how many years, because you love them as if you have kind of a past knowledge. So if you could tell us how many years you've been doing this with Atlantic Theater and specifically how many years with A. Philip, and then your role within as a teaching artist, is that right?
So this year I was a lead teaching artist, and I've been a teaching artist for I think about seven years now, ever since graduating Atlantic. Started off as a work study project and then just turned into I love teaching. So I think A. Philip Randolph was the first I started with, so it was about 6 or 7 years ago. I have to look at my Instagram for the actual date. That's what I track it on. But I was the project coordinator when we were doing a really big theater project, actually. We were doing August Wilson's Fences. And that was the first play that we did. It was great. It was such a great play. and such a great show for them. So that was a slightly different program. It was storytelling, but we were taking scenes from Fences, and then we were doing a bunch of student writing with them about the themes of that play, and then inserting some of their own student writing into the project. So that was really using a text and then generate more work and more ideas. This program that we did was really all student writing generated, which is very exciting. And it was great to do it with juniors and seniors because I think they're ready for that. And so it was, and through Miss Fosterbaugh's class, it was wonderful because her whole class was about gender, race, and class. So they were primed, they had all the information ready to go, ideas swirling around their head. And so it was a great time to jump in and start making stories from some of the topics. We always made sure that they were using at least 2 of the topics in each story. And then the groups were divided into 3 groups. So we made 3 small films. And it was great. It was really fun.
That's wonderful. Really wonderful.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's a 6-week program. How many times do you meet per week?
Twice a week for the first couple weeks, and then so half the program is when we did Wednesday, Friday, and then for the second half it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, because I was gonna say it's not enough time, like once a week, but okay.
I wish it was more. I mean, I think that we always would take more time for these projects, but once a week would not be enough because we need to get to know them, and we play a lot of improv games in the very beginning.
There's a lot of trust involved.
Yeah, totally. Like me and the other 2 myself and the other 2 teaching artists, we already made a film for them to see. So, they have to see our film first. It was just a sample film, but we don't show them anything, demonstrate anything that we would ask them to do that we wouldn't do. So we put that forward first.
I love that. I see Lydia has her hand up. Lydia, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask another question. I come from a different perspective. I taught theater at Queens College for many years, but I was just wondering now, do the students, how does this work in high school, or I guess it's high school you're working with, or is it middle school?
No, it's high school. Yeah,
High school,
we're in their English language arts classrooms.
Okay.
So it's not like a theater. We're not in a theater classroom. We're in their English classroom.
Okay, so the teacher gives you some time to work with the students, and the students are already in that class, so it's not like they're volunteering or anything.
No, it's exactly. They're already in that English class. We push the desks away for the games, we redo the space in the room so it looks like a little bit of a writer's table when we're doing writer's table work, or desks on the side when we're doing intro games. And so, we make a small little drama theater.
And in both of so we have 2 main partner schools. One of them is outside of the district, but we, with both of them, we spend a lot of time in the beginning of the semester, at the beginning of the school year, working with the teachers to figure out which ways we can sort of create new inroads with their curriculum as it exists. And that goes down to like figuring out what films, if it's Miss Fosterbaugh, or what texts we're studying, whether it's personal narratives or plays. So that we can sort of augment the work that they're already doing in class. But both of these schools, we're in mainly because they don't have a dedicated theater program. And so this sort of not only provides an outlet for the kids who might not otherwise have the sort of drama club outlet, but also then helping kids who might need another perspective or another lens on the topic they're studying in their normal curricular class through theater or filmmaking.
They need that for self-expression. There's all this stuff coming down now that kids are a lot of depression, that they're feeling helplessness, sense of identity. I mean, even in my college students, I would tell them, although I wasn't really teaching acting, teaching history and so forth, and literature, that most of life is a species of theater. We're always playing a role. So I think these things are so important, and they've been so downplayed in the last 50 years. I have that perspective as an old lady now. We used to have all of that in the public schools. It was encouraged. We had Glee Club, we had choral speaking, we had acting, and a lot of art classes. I mean, every way that a young person could develop their sense of self. I think these things are so critical for them, and I think will help in their own sense of development as an adult. So I highly, highly approve of these kinds of programs. I just have to say that.
I feel the same way. And I've been at
Yeah.
Atlantic for almost 9 years now because I feel really fortunate that we're able to do the work that we do, but that we have organizations who are willing to help fund it and to make sure that this programming is available. So I co-sign what you just said. So.
Yeah. And the themes, just so you know, the themes of the movies that they made were, one was cyberbullying was a theme, which is incredible that that's even a thing. You may feel like that's like now a thing, right? And then we had dealing with some sort of societal male isolation themes, and then forgiveness. So, I mean, it was great to get their perspectives on this as well, and also to talk about it, because I didn't feel like they were going to talk about it unless I pushed a little bit. And I think it was great, you know, for the kids. A lot of them knew each other's names, but they didn't know each other. Some of them did, you know, it needs a little healthy push. And then it was like so much fun when, I mean, not everyone enjoys it, but most people. That's fun.
We've always got one or two people maybe that's not into it, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't
Yeah,
positively impact them. I know
totally.
there's been things that maybe I didn't participate in, but I thought about a lot years later. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
this
also
work.
like when you those folks who don't necessarily seem like they're participating or interested, and who are maybe a
They'll
distraction
surprise you.
right at the end, right?
Yep.
Like exactly. So
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
totally true.
You know, Tyler, you've been to our meeting before, and Atlantic Theater Company's been coming to us, I mean, years and years. And like every year I look forward to the presentation. Michelle, this is my first time meeting you. So welcome and thank you. We hope to have you both back soon. But what I want to tell you is that every year you tweak the program a touch, something that maybe you were doing before you kind of stopped doing, or you're doing something new. And I just want to tell you to keep evolving, keep growing, because the children benefit from it, obviously. And we've heard such great things from the principal of AFIP as well about Atlantic Theater. So very, very pleased to have you in our community doing this great work. Please keep it up. Do you still have your program in Brooklyn that's
we
more
do.
and okay, awesome.
Yeah, and that's
Great.
that program. We're in their 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade.
Oh,
And
God.
in pre-pandemic, the 12th graders at A. Philip Randolph also participated in our senior program, and they met up with the Park Slope Collegiate students. So the hope is that we'll be able
Get
to
back
help.
to that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been so hard trying to fit those like pegs back together after the pandemic. It's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
very, very, very difficult and very odd. But anyway, some of the changes I think that should be obvious, like maybe some remote work aren't as obvious. And then there are other changes that I feel like, let's get back to it, just like what you said. So I don't know. But anyway, keep pushing and let us know how we can support you. And always, like, if there are shows or anything, please share with us. We'll share with our community, even if it's in Brooklyn, because people they don't mind going out of the borough. We live in a great city.
Yeah, we've
I'd
got
love
a lot
to.
going
Yeah.
on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We'd love to invite you to the shows. They're so fun.
Absolutely. All right. Wonderful. Thank you both so much.
Thank you. I'm gonna go
Thank
off
you.
video, but I'll still be here. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Wonderful. Margot, I know you wanted to give us some updates for the NYPL. Please feel free. Yes. Hi.
Yeah,
Margot.
hi. No, I won't take too long.
Our
My name is
favorite
Margot.
librarian.
I'm from George Bruce Library, which is just around the corner. I don't know where we are now. So summer's coming, and our summer kickoff is June 27th. That's a Tuesday. And we're going, Lydia's going to like this. We're going to have urban stages. And the summer's theme is arts in Harlem. So all our programs throughout, the whole summer will focus on arts. Well, I'm a visual artist, so I'll be covering most of the visual arts. But we have another children's librarian, Kate, and she'll be doing other arts as well. And Isabella, the teen librarian, wants to do open mic and other arts related.
Oh, I love that. Please share that with me. Like, I will literally go put up flyers around the neighborhood. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Please.
I'll send flyers then.
Okay.
And the main thing for summer closing, we're going to have urban stages again, along with a show that will, it's like a show reception, a closing show with all the work that the kids have created. And there will be prizes too. So
that's awesome.
yeah, and the show will stay up till like middle of September. That way the kids who are away on vacation can come and see it, and they can bring
I love that.
kids. Yeah, we're going to feature the arts. This is mostly going to be 2D art that will be showcased.
Okay.
So I will send you the flyers for that. But the kickoff is June 27th
Wonderful.
at 4
I
p.m.
know. Well, I know where you work, so I can always come find you and get the flyer.
Yeah. I'll email them and I'll print them
All
for
right.
you. Anything.
No, yes, please, because we were just talking about the teens and kind of it's really hard to get them like into libraries and into the things, and but also part of the problem is they don't know about it. It's amazing how everybody's on the internet, but no one's on the internet. I don't know how to explain it.
I
If
know.
you send out an email blast, no one seems to get it, but everybody's on TikTok like watching like something destructive as opposed to something constructive. So anyway, that's my
Maybe
TED
I'll get on
talk.
TikTok and
Do
announce
that
it.
every
I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Margot. All right. Lois, I see you have a note. Lois, why don't you unmute and talk to us really quick about the housing meeting? BRC.
Yeah,
Lois, I don't know if you can hear me. My phone is doing something.
yeah, I can hear you. I have the housing committee on my phone. BRC is gonna do their presentation about the supportive housing that they're gonna build when they tear down the healthcare center. And I'm with Concerned Citizens for a Better Harlem, and one of the things we have been doing is fighting against that development, because that area, when you add up what's already there are already 427 supportive housing units. When you add BRC, then that increases the number. And Charles Memorial, I understand, is now going to be a shelter with 108 more units, which is going to be over 600 units concentrated between on Broadway and St. Nick, between 145th and 148. So we're saying that the area is already overly saturated. Our main concern is BRC is diagonally across from an elementary school, and they're going to be housing people that have that are drug addicted and mentally ill, and that poses a danger to the school. Now BRC keeps saying that the police are on board with this, and they're going to be there tonight to speak too, because they have not bought into this plan in terms of what's going to take place. So when they start speaking, I was telling her I have to hop off and join the other meeting.
Okay, we may end up joining you, Lois, because I do see that our meeting may be getting ready to come to an adjournment. We have a little bit longer agenda, but I see some people are missing. A lot of conflicts tonight, and I think a few people actually did tell me about that meeting, but I didn't realize it was about this. So thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
The
Appreciate
company
that.
is supposed to be there tonight, he has never shown up for anything.
The owner?
Yeah, Muggsy.
Okay, let's see what he has to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need additional shelters and clinics. It's like it's congested at this point. There are many other places in New York City and in Manhattan in general that you can place these things.
Well, we're gonna have
All
a
right.
rally with Inez, the assemblywoman is organizing it.
Okay.
We're gonna take it back down to the mayor's office. We have met with them a couple times. Nothing has come out of it.
Okay, good.
And there are
Thank
8
you for letting me
drugs.
know.
There are also 8 more on-site injection sites coming, but we don't know where they're gonna be coming.
Okay, let me see if I can find the link as well. And I will, yep, I'm gonna put it in the chat as well, just in case anybody wants to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you. All right. I am going to get ready to adjourn the meeting, actually. Before I go, I did want to see if anybody had any new or old business to discuss. This is our last virtual meeting of the year, but we will be meeting again in September, obviously, and we may end up having additional meeting in the summer. So just a heads up to my YEL people, I may email you, but it's not mandatory, but we may just get together for a quick moment. Is there any new business or old business that anyone would like to discuss or inform us about before I close the meeting?
Yeah, I just want to introduce myself. So
Hi.
thank you. Hi, my name is Clotilde, and
Beautiful.
I was nominated last May. So I'm joining as an observer. I'm very interested into joining this,
Okay,
this commission, and that's why I attended before the closure.
wonderful. Good. I'm glad to have you. Congratulations on becoming part of Community Board 9 officially. And you don't have your committee assignment yet?
Not yet, not
All
yet.
right. Well, wherever you go is great. You come over here, that's great. We'll be happy to have you. But all the committees, every single part of it is important. And really one hand washes the other. And if we have to work together as a community. So it's wonderful to have another member join us. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's another meeting going on the housing. So should I
Yeah.
on the chat that you send us so that
If
will
you want, yes. And then you'll be receiving emails from Hakil and from Ms. Yutha. So
Yeah.
yes, but yes.
but the one you posted now will if I click, I will join the meeting who's going on now.
Yeah, it will take you there. So just be advised. Bye.
I think
We'll see you
that's
at
the
the
wrong
beginning of
link.
the board. Say
Thank
that
you.
again, Lois. That's the wrong
wrong link.
one. Lois,
Yeah,
do you have the link to when you're talking about then?
yeah, let me get on
Hold on.
Facebook and copy it. Sydney sent that link doesn't work. Let me get it real quick.
Okay, I appreciate you. Let's see. I'm looking to see if I have anything in my email, but I do not.
Yeah, the
Maybe
email
I
is
deleted it.
incorrect.
Okay.
I do have something by email, but it's let me in.
Okay. That's all right. Let's see.
Okay, I'm copying it now and I'll put it. Come on, copy.
Thank you so much. Lois, you always come to our meetings. I appreciate you. Even when you don't present, it's wonderful to have you part of our community as well.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in.
All right. Thank you.
Hold on, I'm putting it in there now.
Okay.
That should be the link.
Okay. I'm going to try this one. Let's copy that. When I click it, the meeting will, I guess, go away. So I want to tell everybody good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Margot, I'll see you over the summer. And YEL peeps, I'll talk to you, we'll email, and we'll start getting some real plans together because it's time for us to contribute as well. Everybody else is having workshops and things, it's our turn. So, all right, I'll talk to everyone later. Bye, Tyler, bye, Michelle. All right, let's stop recording.